I should also mention that I like recorded all the voiceover in one go because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do it again. So if I make a mistake, whoops. Don't mind the like absolute horrible quality of the pictures in this.
Disclaimer time! This is just my subjective opinion, and I'm not even really qualified for design at all. This is for fun, and I am in no way claiming or insinuating to be better than the designers and artists at NetEase. You can like Melly's design. We can have differing opinions. I'm also not attacking anyone who likes this design. Hunter Melly. The first thing I'm going to mention and discuss, which is going to be a recurring theme for me, is that I am not a master or even very skilled at character design. I'm not claiming to be better or even good than NetEase or even knowledgeable about this subject in its own right. I'm just an artist with an interest in character design, framing, art, media, etc. My education for the subject honestly doesn't go past my 10th grade art class, so please take what I have to say with a grain of salt. And for fun, I'm trying to redesign Hunter Melly with these critiques in mind. Now, announced on October 17th in the Identity 5 content livestream, Hunter Melly was revealed for the first time, the much anticipated Queen Bee at that, which, as some people were fearing, was a little more of an unimaginative name. I mean, she's been hyped for, since Coa 7, I believe, is when she was announced in the finale. Melly Entomologist has such potential for an amazing, unsettling, and monstrous design, but it just falls short, in my opinion. Soul Weaver, an arachnid-inspired design, is great, so drawing from insects, and specifically bees, lends itself to so many possibilities. Entomophobia is a powerful thing, especially to drive inspiration from for character design in a horror game. And I love bugs, so I was hopeful for this design, and Hunter Melly in general. As of late, NetEase has released characters that follow the same recurring principle. Skinny, twink, conventionally attractive, with elements of their career or lore woven into it, usually in the forms of missing limbs and or torsos. There have been some exceptions. Opera Singer, I believe, has a distinct enough silhouette, and Goatman and Peddler work well. But NetEase has been veering away from the horror aspect of this horror 1v4 asymmetrical horror game, which is quite disappointing to me. They're holding back. Kyostar was really excited for, initially, and still holding interest for. And I love the idea, even if his backstory does boil down to bro fell off at pool. Demonic and lion motifs are a really cool thing to incorporate into his character. A pool player who's willing to become someone else's demon, signing away his autonomy to be back at the top. And I love the physics in Maxwell's demons aspects as well. All of these ingredients have the potential for a really cool, intimidating, ruined beast. But what we get is not that. It is just conventionally attractive twink with limbs missing again, which is what we've been seeing for quite a while now. Look at these silhouettes for the new hunters. It's getting tired, overplayed, and most importantly, wasting potential. This is turning into a case of same body syndrome, same look syndrome, which is really disappointing because IDV is capable of great character design. Looking back at, for example, Weaver, Robbie, Lizard, Feaster, these are all interesting designs, and the silhouettes are unique and tell a story. They convey these horror aspects.
I don't explain this well. What I was trying to get to is that character design should tell a story. They should tell you who the characters are. We should get a feel for them. Genuinely, what can you tell me about, like, Fool School, their Queen Bee, and their designs?
Some more examples. Dream Witch, Violinist, Breaking Wheel, Nightmare, same thing. Even looking again at some of the older designs, even looking at the more, quote, skinny and or conventionally attractive characters, they all stand out and convey a different story. The silhouette still is interesting, and so is the shape language, and they differ. If you like Queen Bee's character design, great. That's great. But I wish it could live up to what I know NetEase is capable of. The reason I started this game in the first place is because of the aesthetic and character design. I want Queen Bee to be and look as cool and intimidating as everyone was anticipating. Here again is her design, and again her silhouette. It matches the same skinny claw-like hand hunters we've been getting over and over again, especially again with the potential it has. Here, for example, is a honeybee silhouette, and this is such a strong silhouette on its own, which NetEase has even used for great imagery symbolism for Melly before.
He invited me to a game here. And in exchange, he would provide information on that bee species and the cause of my husband's death.
It's just disappointing, this trend of new character designs for hunters. I'm going to mainly stick with the original design for the first one, just trying to make her creepier. And I get that she has her clothes, lacking some iconic details, But there can be such a difference for identity switches, even though it's just a taller version of the survivor since Fool's Gold. Look at Novelist and Nightmare, even Weeping Clown and Smiley Face. Although Smiley has the default Hunter model Nettie started with, I recognize that Smiley came first, and then Weepy, but I feel this demonstrates my point even more. Because Weepy's model differs from the male-based survivor still. I mean, just look at that slutty little man waist. They're different and distinct. I'm not even going to get into Nightmare's design. The more recent identity switches have just looked like their survivor counterparts, but taller. JesterGio did a really great video on this. I mean, just imagine what Evil Reptilian would look like if he came out today. So I'm going to be experimenting with shape language, silhouette, etc. Also, another disclaimer, some of my Procreate playable act got corrupted or something, so I lost part of the speed paint. There will be a random jump. This only happens once, I swear, I'm sorry. For the first design, I'm going to mainly stick with the one we got, just elevate it with more bug-like or creepy components. And I really wanted to get that honeybee silhouette for all of them. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about it as I watch it. So, like I said, I wanted to get that honeybee kind of silhouette. I made sure to give her the extra arms, the wings. The wings are fine. I made the antenna longer. I made sure to give her mandibles. That was something that I really wanted to do. I kept her hair mostly the same. I also kept, you'll see later, the antenna's the same color. Here's the jump. I don't know why my Procreate did that. Also, made sure, because I wanted to have swarms of bees surrounding her, because, you know, that's kind of a cool aspect. I tried darkening her feet and legs to make it look like more like, you know, actual bug feet. I do eventually. I turn it sideways, so there's a little cut in the video for that because I had to crop it and then reframe it. But I made sure because I wanted to get, you know, like her tie, her buttons, her sash, I guess, like the more important parts. Well, the more detailed parts of entomologist's coat, because that was kind of lost in it. I did make sure to make it ragged as well. There I was trying to make some bug eyes version. I was trying to outline it, but I was like, never mind, the first one was fine. I go in with pretty much the same colors. I think it's pretty muted. I changed the tie color because I like the idea of the complementary color being yellow, and that already works because that's what her eyes are. Because they're like honey, like. So I just did that, and her tie is already yellow. But it's more brown, so I made it a little bit more yellow to complement it, to get more pop of color. I also made sure to make sure that her slacks were actually slacks. There's another really good critiquing video of Melly's design. I did like how the wings looked, so I mostly tried to emulate that. I think that conveys, you know, like just lots of bees. It's not the best, but, you know, I like this one. I'm pretty happy with the final product. And then the next two are gonna be from the same base silhouette. And I really wanted the shape language to be that kind of rounded point to the stinger. I wanted to get that a lot. So I made sure to get that in the fingers. Tried to get it a little bit in the wings. I experimented with the tongue for a second. And of course I had to get her a little hat in there. I made 2 designs, and then I eventually ended up covering that one with a veil too because it's Melly and she hides her face. And I think it looks cool. I think I gave up on the tongue, yeah. Because I'm not sure what she would use it for, but... This one I definitely wanted to get like a yellow honeybee, just like the specimen her husband quote unquote died to, and the symbolism that was her, whatever. I did experiment with a little bit more of a color palette with some more reds because that's complementary to green, and I just kept the green coat because like it's kind of iconic. But I think these colors work well together. It's nice. Melly has such a great design already. There's some of the red, but I decided not to go with it for that one. I put the red in here a little bit. And so yeah, these are my finished Melly redesigns. I definitely wanted to do more. I'm pretty happy with these. I think they look cool. This one I was trying to stick with the original, and then the second 2 I just wanted to go more bug, while also like kind of being original. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
I do wish I could have added more of like actual swarms of bees in the designs. I didn't really do that, besides like it didn't have the effect that I wanted, because like this is some freaky shit, but maybe I'll get to do that in other designs.